Hi, I'm James. I'm a yoga teacher and a recovery advocate with over 8 years of sobriety. I first moved to Hong Kong in 2005 as a young performer in a theme park. I was exposed to a lot of hard partying, and I thought that this was a path for me to be part of the cool crowd. And so it wasn't just about alcohol consumption, which turned into excessive alcohol drinking, but also once I was here, I got my first taste of drugs. I had my first taste of alcohol at age 8, and although I did not like the taste of it, I found myself drawn to it. I remember coming home and I was vomiting, and my dad was stroking my back. I really felt like my dad and I had a bonding moment, and so I thought, is this the way that I earn my dad's affection? You know, as LGBT people, we have a lot of insecurity about, am I good enough? And you somehow have to present yourself as something more acceptable, that something that is discriminated against. And when I consumed alcohol, I was filled with this feel-good buzz that made me want more and more and more. Unfortunately, I just never had a stop button for it. And nobody in a social setting also tells you that you've had enough. Instead, you are glorified for being the life of the party. You are glorified for having a larger-than-life presence, and you do not even know what is yourself anymore, as in who you are as a person, or who is this presentation that you are trying to pass off as yourself. And this was what had become of me. I had become a presentation of myself rather than the real me. In the Easter of 2015, my drug taking finally came to a grinding overdose. Unfortunately, a friend of mine found me unconscious on the floor in my flat. He called 999, which was for emergency support. So whilst I was treated as an emergency evacuation, I was also in that situation actually arrested for the possession of Class A drugs. I was actually handcuffed to the bed, and there were 2 police officers watching over me. And the lawyer recommended I submit myself to a drug rehabilitation program to show the police that I was trying to make amends and making a difference in my life. The first 2 months of my residential rehab took place in Chiang Mai. After that, my family transferred me to Baguio City in the northern Philippines, where I did my 3rd month of rehab, and then 3 months became 4 months. But I still had no way of being released out into the world. So eventually, my entire treatment lasted 8.5 months. And the positive recovery outcome for me was there was an invitation for me to come to Hong Kong for a job interview. After 10 months since having started rehab, I finally got a job, and along with it, some positive news from my lawyer that the Hong Kong police had decided to drop my case. Yoga and a 12-step program are the ongoing ingredients of my recovery. Of course, yoga helps me to stay physically okay, physically well. But apart from the physical aspect of yoga, there's also the mental and the spiritual and the emotional aspect that can be enhanced through meditation, through good deeds, by practicing yoga off the mat. As for the 12-step program, it helps me to relate to other alcoholics and addicts, and helps me to share the benefits of recovery. In a 12-step program, we say you can only keep what you have by giving it away. And so by sharing it with others, it is helping me to stay sober too.